let's start in Qatar. Show you the draw was held on Friday. This is Ghana's group. This is what Coach Nimley is talking about. So Ghana has been drawn in Group H. They will face Portugal in their first game on the, I think, 24th of November. Then after that, they will play South Korea. And then after that, they'll end the group stages with Uruguay. These are Ghana's opponents in the FIFA World Cup draw. Those are FIFA's. I'm just checking, just to clarify for you, of course, the date for Ghana's games as far as that's concerned. So here you go. Ghana's first game is on the 24th of November. Portugal versus Ghana. That's at 4 p.m. at the Stadium 974 in Doha. And then 4 days later, on the 28th of November, South Korea versus Ghana. That is at the Education City Stadium in Al Rayyan, Qatar's second biggest city. That match is at 1 p.m. Ghana time. And then Ghana will conclude the group stages on the 2nd of December with a game against Uruguay. That is a 3 p.m. kickoff at the Al Janoub Stadium in Al Wakra. So these are Ghana's group games, 24th, 28th, and 2nd of December. Before we even dive into Ghana's group, of course, let me just show you the full draw to put perspective on it. So 8 groups of 4 teams, that is 32 teams. Group A is the host nation Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. Group B, England, Iran, USA, and either Wales or Scotland versus either Wales or Scotland versus Ukraine. Now, Scotland versus Ukraine is yet to happen. Now, the winner of that game will face Wales for that last place in Group B. In Group C, it's Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. In Group D, it's world champions France, then Costa Rica or New Zealand. The two of them are playing in a playoff game. Then there's Denmark and the first African country, Tunisia, are in there as well. Now, the other African countries, Senegal, are in Group A. Now, Group E has Spain, Peru, or Australia and UAE. Now, Australia and UAE are playing a playoff game. The winner of that match will then face Peru for that last place in Group E. And then there is Germany and Japan. Many people consider that the group of death. Very, very difficult on paper. Group F will have Belgium, Canada, who are making a return to the World Cup for the first time since 1986. Then there's Morocco, and then there's Croatia, finalists from the last edition. Group G will have Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon, the other African team in there. And Group H, that's where Ghana found themselves, the last group. Portugal, with Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Diaz, Bernardo Silva, all of them up against Ghana. Then there's Uruguay, Luis Suarez still actively playing, so there's an opportunity to avenge the defeat of 2010. And there's South Korea, familiar opponents for Ghana, played them many, many times in friendly matches. All right, let me come back to the guys. We'll talk about the World Cup groups and which one looks difficult on paper. But let's take Ghana's group. Coach, when you saw that, what were your initial thoughts? Negotiable, difficult, tricky? What adjective would you use?
Difficult, but very surmountable. It's something we can easily surmount, provided we do our things right. Look, we know what to expect, at least from the three opposition, isn't it? As a country, we've tasted them before. As a country, there's Olele in there. He understands how to play against these guys. Andre, I have no doubt, will be at the World Cup. So he has what it takes to speak to the other guys and get them to understand what goes into playing against these teams. So as a country, we know what to expect. We know what South Korea will present. We know what Uruguay will present. And we know what Portugal will present. And I have no reason to doubt the ability of the Ghanaian, of our team. You see, when we do our things right, when I say do our things right, when the selection of players is left solely in the hands of the technical team, I have no doubt whatsoever that
We will have quality players.
We will have enough
representing
quality to match any opposition at this World Cup. I'm not afraid of anybody. Because as a Ghanaian, I know what we are capable of doing when we are up for it.
Yeah.
And I do believe strongly that we'll be ready. At least the last edition, when we were there, that embarrassment that overshadowed this country in Qatar, we will write a completely different story. And it starts from now. It starts from believing in that technical team, getting them the freedom to select whoever they want. As for them, they know. Otoado knows the standard of the World Cup. He knows the tempo. He knows the quality. He knows what goes into it. So yes, as a player, you might have been part of the qualification, but you will not necessarily be at the World Cup.
Because we need the very best.
We need the very best. Because at the end of the day, whatever they did, they've been paid for, isn't it?
Yes,
As a country, we should have the prerogative, the sole prerogative, to decide who we take. So the support is with the technical
Not
team.
just anyone. We have to take the very
That
best.
is what I'm saying. The very best. Those who are ready.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. Not everybody will go to the World Cup. I overheard, I think Alhaji Gruza, I stand to be correct, where he said, who should work for bamboo to come and chop? But Sheila Eliasu, who was a son to, or who is a son to Alhaji Gruza, wasn't an instrumental part of that 2006 qualification.
I think you mean Habib Mohammed.
Habib
He came
Mohammed.
from Kifaisa.
Yes.
Sheila came from...
No, but at the time, Sheila had just played one season for Kotoko.
Yeah.
But we all know where Sheila Eliasu came from. He came from Alhaji Gruza, Kim Faisal.
Then there's Habib Mohammed.
Yeah, and then there's Habib, who never kicked the ball
in the qualifiers.
Series.
Yeah.
But he went to the World Cup.
And played
he
three games, actually.
He made us proud, isn't it?
Apart from the first game, he played the rest of the matches.
If there was any local or, do I say domestic player who make a claim for why the league, the players in our league should be encouraged to be given such platform, Habib and Sheila. Because at the time they were both locally based. But when Samuel Osei-Kuffour had that bad game against Italy,
and Papo was scared by the crowd. They dumped the two of them for the second game. And
look at Sheila.
Yeah, he was so
goodness.
comfortable.
I remember very
alongside
well.
John
John Mensah, very comfortable. Look at his height, his physique, his ability on the ball, under pressure.
Very good football.
Very calm.
Very calm defender.
Very calm. I remember those days.
Yes.
So we would go with the best. It's not about what I say, not about what any management member says.
Yeah.
We are going to the World Cup with the best. Some of us will not sit down and allow them to take mediocre players there. Because I will be there by the grace of God. I've told you, don't go without me.
Yeah.
I've told you, don't go without me.
Why are you telling?
My viewers are watching.
Don't go. You will go. You go to Qatar.
Without a doubt.
You go to
Qatar.
To Qatar. The Qatar people say Qatar.
I will be there, inshallah.
You will be there. You will be there. But wait, school will still be in session.
Don't worry. That is my work people. They understand what I do. I'll put my house in order.
That's right. You go with a placard for cut.
The people at Ghana Christian International will allow me to go and watch. They know Coach Nimle is all about Ghana. In my school we say it is for God,
for country,
family, and country.
That's right.
When it is time for me to serve my country, my bosses, they will definitely allow me to go.
All right. Very, 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 very nice submission. Lovely. I love that. Daniel, Coach has summed it up. Difficult on paper, but he thinks that it's surmountable if we pick the right players. You, especially as a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo, you know what the Portuguese are capable of course. And we know what the South Koreans, the last time we played them, Jordan Ayew scored a hat-trick. It was before the 2014 World Cup. But obviously it will be a totally different Korea team right now. And then obviously there's Uruguay. Obviously, again, not the same team from 2010. Even not the same coach. They've sacked a coach for the first time in a long time. But they're there again. And is that the same adjective you would use? Difficult?
Yeah, it's look, friends, all 32 teams. In fact, let me say 31 teams there because Qatar is not necessarily a top team, and they know it themselves. But you see, they are wherever we landed, it was always going to be difficult because everybody is coming with a certain mindset to impress, a certain mindset to make a statement. So nobody's going to have it easy. Even the top teams know that they'll have to work for everything that they'll get. So yes, it is difficult. Portugal are difficult. Uruguay are very difficult. South Korea themselves have quality in their team. And you see, the Koreans play this brand of football very similar. In fact, the Asian teams play this certain brand of football that can be difficult for African teams. We saw what happened to Senegal last time around against Japan. And where on paper, we thought that that's where their victory would come from, but it was a very difficult encounter for them. And we've seen it quite a number of times. So, yes, look, it's going to be difficult.
Look at what they did to Belgium.
Look at what they
did.
Even though
they lost.
They lost the game, but they gave them a run for their money. So, look, it is. I don't think we should judge this Korean team by what they did in 2018. 2018 was difficult, and they went out in the group stages, but they have quality in this team.
And they beat Germany.
Yeah, they beat Germany. They still went out in the group stages. But look, Son is there. They have the guy from Wolves, Hee Chan-hwan.
They have 3 Kims, 4 Kims.
About 6 Kims. They have, look, there's quality in their team, and that's what you find scattered around almost all the teams in the competition. When you look at this team, you can tell 2, 3, 4 names are household names, depending on the leagues that you watch, the top leagues that you watch. So everywhere is scattered with quality. I'm just happy with the sequence in which our games are going. I think it helps us a lot. I know what Portugal is capable of, but I feel like Ghana can match up to Portugal. They usually don't start competitions well, so that's the best time to face them at the beginning of the competition. We are in March and we are talking about something that's going to happen in November. But look, it is difficult, but yes, as Coach said, it's something that we can overcome. But in as much as we have to take the best players, you see, when it comes to the World Cup, the selection is just not based on quality. It's also based on the attitude of players. And you have to take a group of players who are willing, who have always been willing, who are very, committed, determined to do anything for the badge and do anything for the team.
Let me help you here. Where it's not just about them.
It's not just about them. It's about the team.
Yes.
It's about the team. And it looks that is very important. Player A may be better than player B. And we've seen it several times. We've seen it, several times where top players are left out of some teams and we don't understand. But when the managers come out to explain, it's just based on commitment. It's based on how a certain player fits into a plan and how a certain player who we all feel individually may be better than the guy who was chosen ahead of him does not fit into the plan. So let's trust the technical team. But I feel there are some key players in this team. There are some key players who even played fringe roles during the qualifying who have key roles, or I feel will have key roles to play at the World Cup. And I don't think they should be overlooked for some certain players who in the beginning were not ready. Because look,
or may necessarily be better.
Or may necessarily be better. Because friend, trust me, everybody has their reasons for turning down call-ups. But if you are really, really hurt by something, and if you are really going to put your foot down and say you will not play, the World Cup shouldn't change your mind. If the World Cup changes your mind, then it means that you could have changed your mind before. You just decided not to. The lure of the World Cup has just all of a sudden changed your mind. And you see, for things like that, you can't tell if it's the last game, it's the dying moments. We need that person to put his body on the line. Would he be able to do it? Would he be willing to do that? We don't know. So let's go with the guys who are willing, who have quality, and are also willing to do everything for the jersey.
And obviously, that's not to say that those who didn't previously play may not be willing at a certain point. There could be some reason why they weren't ready.
Yeah.
So suddenly, like Daniel said, if they are ready and they show that they are willing to put body on the line, and it is now that time has come, why not?
Why not?
We should be able to put them in there. But he makes a critical point. You know, we have to, I think even as a country, I totally agree that there has to be a point where we also have to be able to show that we reward loyalty and that we reward players that have been willing for a long time to die for the country. So the point, you see,
that loyalty is always rewarded.
Yes. So I'm saying that we have to balance those two.
That's
we
what
have to find a good balance.
There has to be a balance.
Yes.
As I sit here today, if there's a player who did so well in the World Cup, it's up to the quality required in the World Cup, he goes.
Yes.
He goes.
Of course.
2 ways about it.
That is rewarding his
qualification. If he is equally
talent.
good, like the one who didn't play, why should I go? He goes. But here's the case where he may be good, but the quality required, he falls short.
That's true.
And if that other person shows commitment and ready to go, you take. Because
that's a very good example for you,
do,
coach. That's a very good example. If Ghana gets Tariq Lamptey, and then they've got Dennis Odoi, and they've got Andy Yadon, and they have to drop one, and they drop Andy Yadon, you would have no
I'll
confidence.
have no concern.
No, that's not.
I'll have no concern.
How do you
As we
think
speak,
Andy Yadon
now,
should feel about that?
No, but he's been paid for the job he's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't do it for free.
Yeah.
We've
So
shown
in that
that-
case, you can't say you've been loyal or
It doesn't.
you've
It has
played
got-
all the qualifiers.
It
So
has got
therefore,
nothing to do with
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You see, okay, then let's take this team as it is to the World Cup.
Yeah.
We get beat and we come back after the group stage.
Yeah.
Okay? So all that we are saying is very, very simple. We really do need committed players. That is paramount.
Yeah.
In addition to the commitment, they may all be committed. Okay? If I'm selecting, I'll go for committed players first. Now, within the commitment, if there's somebody better than you in terms of quality, that person goes to the World Cup and you sit at home. It's as simple as that. Because look, we are not going to be added to the numbers. We are not just going to say we were there like happened in 2014 when we were just there and then we're just part of the participant. No, that will not happen. We need to go there like we did in 2006. And like, look, we need to go beyond that quarterfinal stage.
right.
And I think if we do our things well, we have the potential.
And just to clarify, for someone like Salisu, for example, you know, and Daniel makes a point. If he wasn't ready to play for us all this while, and you know, people that have been ready to play and committed and are good shouldn't be dropped for him necessarily
At all.
because he's
He's
the
nice
better
and
player.
good. No.
But at the same time, you're looking at taking 4 centre backs. So if you take out Juku and Amate, the rest of the players, it really. It's a no-brainer, to be honest. But taking also doesn't necessarily mean that guarantees his
Friends, I don't think it's a no-brainer. If you compare what Joseph Edu is doing with Celta Vigo, you can compare it to what Salisu is doing at Southampton. Abdul Mumin is a young, fantastic defender. We all see his exploits in Victoria. And you see, it's what I'm saying is that if you're going to improve an aspect of the team with players who are now coming in, then they have to be far better than the guys who are already there.
Exactly.
And I don't think...
Salisu is far better than
No,
Joseph
you see, and I'm saying he's not far better because you don't want to bring in a new person and tamper with the partnership that you've already created.
So,
Amate and Jiku, for me, should be untouchable.
That's what I'm saying, but
Exactly.
doesn't mean...
No,
I don't think
see,
so, though.
and I'm saying if you are bringing...
has not started.
If you are taking
don't
4
think so.
centre-backs, for
I
me...
think-
If you are taking 4 centre-backs, for me, what we have now is okay. It's good enough to feature at the World Cup.
I don't think so.
Joseph Edu is good enough to feature at the World
Joseph
Cup.
Edu isn't... Look, let's put sentiments aside. Joseph Edu isn't better than Salisu.
None of our
Joseph
centre-backs.
Edu would not be playing in the Premier League and playing as well as Salisu is.
The
This
fact
is
of
just
the
fact.
matter, the
How do
fact
you
of
know?
the matter is,
He just doesn't have the
Friends, how
capacity.
do
No, he
you know?
doesn't have
No,
the...
you see, that's very unfair. Relax.
Do you know any
When
centre
Joseph-
back of Joseph Edu's...
when Salisu
Hold on.
was
Do you
playing
know
at
any
Valladolid,
centre back of
when-
Joseph
when-
Edu's height in the Premier League?
When
Now.
Salisu was playing at Valladolid,
he was one of the best in the La Liga.
Joseph Edu is also one of the most consistent defenders in the La Liga.
Yeah, but that's...
Would you, at that
being
time,
consistent
friends,
is-
at that time, would you be able to say that he will come into the Premier League and boss it the way he's doing? No, you can't
At
say.
that time,
No, you see, it's very unfair to say Joseph Edu cannot play in the Premier
At
League.
that time,
No, you see,
at that
it
time,
shouldn't
everything was written all over Salisu as a top
No,
centre
see,
back.
it shouldn't be about Joseph
understand?
Edu and Salisu. I think the first, all things being equal, every player stays fit. Our 4 centre backs at the World Cup should be Jiku, Amate, Salisu, and Joseph Edu. These 4. They are the 4 I will pick for the World Cup.
You drop
understand?
Moment.
Yeah, I'll drop him because of exposure, tournament experience, and all that. He's not. And then if you cannot compare where he's playing to the EPL, no, you can't do that. And Salisu's, he's got something that none of them has got,
So what has a wonderful left foot.
and that is what brings proper balance in centre back.
Interesting.
His passing ability, he's the best among all of them.
That
His
is true.
tackling ability, he's the best among all of them.
can't-
So it's about, you see, the boy I know, the Salisu I know. Look, if we don't manage this thing well, he will say, "I am ready to play, but I'll be ready after the World Cup." What would that have done to us? would have denied us the possibility
opportunity
of
to
going
play
to the
on
World
the
Cup
quality
with our
sense.
best.
Wait, guys,
He's very
you see,
capable of
let's
doing
not
that.
create
But
the
we shouldn't-
impression. Relax. You see, this is what I
No.
don't want. Coach, relax. Let's not create the impression that if we don't take Salisu to the
No,
World Cup,
that's
we are
not
going
what
with
we are
one
saying.
foot.
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's
No,
not
that's
what
not what we
he's
are
saying.
saying.
No, so let's
You know,
not talk
he's
like
saying
if he
he's
doesn't
saying
come
that
now.
what coach is saying.
What I'm saying
the
is
same thing I'm
He's
saying.
quality.
That
If he comes to
let's
the
not,
team, he adds more quality.
Yes,
but
yes.
it doesn't mean that if he's not there,
No,
we
no.
are going to
Granted,
be
if I'm
falling
not-
short.
Nobody, I don't think anybody has
No,
said
yeah,
that.
so then we
can
But
move
the
on.
point everybody is making is that if he's available, you take him.
take him.
It's a
You
no-brainer.
see, friends, you see, that's what I'm saying. That let us talk about areas where we badly need strength.
And I think that
if
is one
Tariq,
department
you see,
we do
if
need
Tariq Lamptey is available and we don't take him and we go with somebody like Yadom and Odoi, and Odoi gets injured and Yadom, there's a clear disparity between the two players in terms of quality. But if Tariq Lamptey is there, we know that he adds quality. If Salisu doesn't come and something happens to Amate and Jiku and Joseph Edu steps in, don't you think you'll be able to match up to the quality?
We've seen, to be
He
honest.
can.
You see, no.
He plays
To
in
be
the
honest,
same- he's been playing years
to be
in-
honest, I have seen Joseph Edu play for the Black Stars. This is
Have you
not
seen
personal.
Salisu play for the Black Stars?
Okay.
So how are you
Many
going
times.
to judge?
And it hasn't worked.
Have you seen Salisu play for the Black Stars? So how are you going to judge?
No, I don't.
We
But
also,
did you?
relax? You see,
Have you? No.
you
You
see,
no.
I'm
You
trying
said
to
no.
let you guys be consistent in what you are saying.
Relax.
When Salisu, when Joseph Edu was playing at club level, we all sat here and screamed he should play in the Black
No,
Stars.
but he hasn't
His
had
first-
too many bad
Coach,
games
let
in
me
the
finish
Black
my
Stars.
point. He comes
Joseph
in.
Edu has done well for the Black Stars.
Yes, but he's had some
very bad games.
He's had some bad
I
games.
have
In the
lost
same
count.
way, Salisu hasn't played for the
I
Black
have
Stars.
lost
Tariq played
So
for
we are-
the Black
relax,
Stars.
so we are in no position to.
Yes,
You see,
but-
you are saying that you were saying that you have seen Joseph Edu. I know where you were going. You've seen
that
Joseph
is
Edu play
unfair.
for the Blacks, and that's unfair.
That's
Because
unfair.
you've
No,
equally
that's
not
fair.
seen. No, it's unfair.
I'm just stating
Because
facts.
you've
I have
equally-
seen him.
I
And
have
you've
lost
equally not
count.
seen
I'm
Salisu
coming.
play for the
I
Black
have
Stars.
lost
So how can
count.
you make
No,
a judgment?
you see, what
Fine,
I'm saying is
fine.
I have seen his quality
Fine.
on display.
Fine.
I have seen Salisu's quality
Fine.
on
Fine.
And
display.
you've not
Fine.
seen Joseph Edu's quality in the
Fine.
La Liga.
I have
No,
lost
I have
count.
not been impressed.
I have
I
lost
would-
count of the number of bad games Jordan Ayew have had for the Black Stars.
Yes.
But he's still in the team.
Yeah.
So if Jose Edu has one bad game, it doesn't make him a bad player.
No, it doesn't.
He's a fantastic defender.
Okay.
But what I am saying is this. If I have my way, it will be Amate, Jiku, Edu, and Salisu.
Okay.
I brought out a situation where, look, if I'm the one, if I'm Salisu, put yourself in Salisu's shoes, and Ghanaians start saying that you didn't want to play because of the World Cup. I'll just sit back and say, you go to the World Cup. After the World Cup, I'll be ready
So
to
the World
play.
Cup, there's an AFCON.
There's an AFCON.
Yeah,
But
and
in
they are-
that case,
and they are qualified
we
before
will
the
be
AFCON,
depriving
so-
ourselves from taking one of our. No two ways about
Yeah,
it.
but
he's
also-
an upgrade of any of our centre backs.
I would be surprised if anybody thinks he's not better than all of them. But here's the thing: we need to take a very short break.